Here are the top stories for today, January 14, 2022. The IATF releases the latest alert level classifications. Metro Manila and its 4 neighboring provinces will stay under alert level 3 until the end of January. Not backing down on restrictions, local governments tightened the noose on unvaccinated persons with their respective ordinances amid the continued surge in infections. A sigh of relief for learners, teachers, and school personnel. Some local government units enforce a health break to ease their burden. And no gatherings, no problem. Candidates for national posts can have their e-rallies streamed online in a page to be provided by the Commission on Elections. Good day, I'm Marita Muahe. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Metro Manila stays under Alert Level 3. Cabinet Secretary and Acting Presidential Spokesperson Carlo Nograles made the announcement this morning as the National Capital Region grapples with the soaring number of COVID-19 cases. Under the guidelines set by the IATF on Alert Level 3, all the local government units may impose restrictions on intra-zonal and interzonal travel. Other areas placed under Alert Level 3 are Baguio City, Ifugao, Mountain Province, Dagupan City, Ilocos Sur, Santiago City, Cagayan, Angeles City, Aurora, Bataan, Bulacan, Olongapo City, Pampanga, Zambales, Rizal, Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, Lucena City, Marinduque, Romblon, Camarines Norte, Catanduanes, Naga City, Sorsogon, Iloilo City, Negros Occidental, Guimaras, Lapu-Lapu City, Bohol, Cebu, Negros Oriental, Ormoc City, Biliran, Eastern Samar, Leyte, Northern Samar, Southern Leyte, Western Samar, Isabela City in Region 9, Zamboanga City, Zamboanga del Sur, Bukidnon, Iligan City, Misamis Occidental, Misamis Oriental, Davao del Sur, Davao del Norte, General Santos, South Cotabato, Surigao del Sur, Agusan del Sur, and Lanao del Sur. 3 provinces in Luzon and 1 province in the Visayas are now under Alert Level 3 due to increasing COVID-19 cases. In Luzon, the provinces of Pangasinan, La Union, and Ilocos Norte are under Alert Level 3 status in effect starting today until the end of the month. In the Ilocos region, DOH COVID-19 focal person Dr. Ruel Bobby said the average number of new cases in the region per day is now at 373 from just 8 cases last December. He said this could be attributed to many people going out and gathering during the holiday season. In the Visayas, the province of Antique has escalated from the current Alert Level 2 to Alert Level 3 effective today due to the increasing number of COVID-19 cases. Antiqueños are advised to stay at home if possible and strictly observe the minimum health protocols such as wearing a face mask and observing safe physical distancing. They are also advised to avoid gatherings, especially if they do not belong to the same household. As the country registers single-day high new cases of COVID-19, more local government units and establishments are implementing guidelines to ensure that the unvaccinated individuals are protected from contracting the disease. In Pasig City, unvaccinated individuals are not allowed to go out except for work and for buying essential needs. In a Twitter post, Mayor Vico Soto says the City Council has passed an ordinance requiring unvaccinated individuals to undertake RT-PCR tests every 2 weeks at their own expense and must yield a negative result before being admitted at their worksite. Makati City also enforces regulated mobility for unvaccinated individuals under its local ordinance number 2022-005. Unvaccinated residents shall be prohibited in indoor or outdoor dining in restaurants and other food establishments, as well as entering for leisure or social trips in malls, hotels, event venues, and other similar facilities. They are also prohibited to go on domestic travel via public transportation by land, sea, and air. Unvaccinated are also required to undergo RT-PCR tests every 2 weeks at their own expense before being admitted to work. In Zamboanga City, unvaccinated and partially vaccinated individuals can only go out for an emergency and other humanitarian purposes. They are required to bring with them their quarantine pass and follow their pass schedule. Holders of Q-Pass A are allowed to go out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, while Q-Pass B on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Only frontliners and fully vaccinated individuals are allowed to go out on Sundays. Meanwhile, the Psychiatry Department of Bicol Medical Center implements a no vaccination card, no entry policy after the department was placed in a total lockdown due to COVID-19 cases. The BMC Department of Psychiatry was placed under total lockdown on January 4 after 28 patients and 4 hospital staff tested positive for COVID-19. FDA Officer in Charge Oscar Gutierrez says the Department of Health would release guidelines on the proper use of these self-test kits. On Monday, the FDA has endorsed 2 self-administered test kits for evaluation to the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, or RITM. Once the RITM issues a performance validation report for the kits, the FDA would evaluate it within 48 hours and release a special certification. Gutierrez says the use of self-administered COVID-19 test kits could ease the high demand for swab testing. Manila City has declared a 1-week health break from online and physical classes due to the rising number of COVID-19 cases. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso says the suspension of classes covers online and physical classes at all levels in private and public schools in the city. The suspension started today until January 21. Meanwhile, the Commission on Higher Education says there is no need for a nationwide declaration of academic break. CHED Chairperson Prospero De Vera says what the higher education institutes need is a guide that would help them anticipate the trend and expansion of COVID-19 infection. He says this would enable them to decide on the declaration of an academic break in the coming months. The CHED is planning to create regular online sessions with health experts to gain correct data. The Department of Education earlier said it cannot declare a nationwide academic break as the COVID-19 situation is different in every part of the country. The Basilica Minor of the Black Nazarene, otherwise known as Quiapo Church, undergo disinfection for the safety of the parishioners. Quiapo Church is closed for 2 weeks starting yesterday, January 13 until January 26. Monsignor Hernando Coronel, rector of the Basilica Minor of the Black Nazarene, says this is part of their efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19. A local pharmaceutical firm is eyeing a fill and finish operation for a new Chinese vaccine against COVID-19. In a fill and finish operation, the vaccine is manufactured outside the country. This means its operation will involve filling vials or syringe with vaccines and finishing the packaging process here for distribution. Local manufacturer Lloyd Laboratories Incorporated says it has partnered with China's Libson Mab Pharm for the Phase 3 clinical trial of the V-01, a codename for the recombinant vaccine against COVID-19. Lloyd Laboratories medical consultant Dr. Antonio Ligsay says the interim analysis will be concluded by the end of this month. Moreover, Lloyd Laboratories also aims to produce molnupiravir in the country so that it could reduce its current price by 30 to 50%. The retail prices of imported molnupiravir cost around 100 to 150 pesos per 200 milligram capsule. If the local production will push through, the prices of this medicine could be reduced to 50 to 75 pesos per capsule. Lloyd Laboratories applied for a certificate of product registration for locally manufactured molnupiravir last December 22. Still ahead, a journalist group welcomed the designation of police officers as media security focal persons. And we find out how shrimp heads seen as food waste is turned into something valuable. Details ahead, keep it here on the PNA Newsroom.
Hi everyone, James Deacon here. The COVID-19 vaccines are finally here, and the government wants to make sure the vaccines reach us. So let's do our part by making sure that we get registered to be included in the vaccination list of our LGU. You can register right in the comfort and safety of your own homes through your LGU's online registration platform. And you can also register on-site in the vaccination venues or through your barangay. Remember, getting vaccinated is the first step towards ending this pandemic. So let's do our part as disciplined citizens. Bida ang may disiplina. Magpakarehistro at magpabakuna para sa ligtas na pamilya, ligtas na bayan.
The Commission on Elections will be providing free live streaming of e-rallies of national candidates for the May polls. Comelec spokesperson James Jimenez says the platform can help ensure candidates who have fewer followers gain more in views and exposure. The live streaming will begin on February 8, which is the start of the 90-day campaign period for candidates running for national positions. The Comelec will launch its Safe Comelec e-rally channel on Facebook. The Comelec also urges all political parties, coalitions, and candidates to register their official accounts, websites, blogs, and other social media pages until January 31. The National Press Club of the Philippines has thanked the Department of the Interior and Local Government for its directive to assign police personnel as focal persons for media security. Based on the DILG memorandum, the Philippine National Police will designate a focal person who will receive information and respond to threats against journalists. NPC President Paul Gutierrez said the DILG's call came just in time for the national elections this May, where threats, intimidation, and violence against members of the press are usually on the rise. He noted that giving added protection to journalists, especially during the election season, has long been a joint campaign by the NPC and the Presidential Task Force on Media Security. The NPC also expressed its support for the investigation of the killing of Jaynard Angeles, a former radio commentator and local candidate in Tacurong City on Wednesday. Gutierrez urged all media organizations to meet with the police and the LG officials in their localities for the effective implementation of the directive. The newly created Department of Migrant Workers is expected to start functioning as a regular agency by 2023. Philippine Overseas Employment Administration Chief Bernard Eulalia said the new agency has a 2-year transition period, during which a transition committee will be formed. Eulalia said the committee is tasked to craft the implementing rules and regulations of the department, the organizational structure, and staffing pattern. It will also submit a budget proposal for the department for 2023. The department aims to expand the assistance that overseas Filipino workers should receive and expedite the delivery of services to them, as well as to unite all agencies that have a mandate for the protection and promotion of OFWs. The creation of the new department is pursuant to Republic Act 11641 signed by President Rodrigo Duterte last December 30. In our business news, the National Fisheries Research and Development Institute is formulating ways to transform food waste such as shrimp heads to a viable source of income. Rosa Basid, Senior Science Research Specialist of the Fisheries Post-Harvest Research and Development Division of NFRDI, said shrimp heads can be converted into shrimp powder. Based on her study released Wednesday, 1 kilogram of fresh shrimp heads can produce about 200 grams of shrimp powder. The resulting ingredient could be used for flavor seasoning, broths, or soups. The NFRDI said that improper disposal of food waste may cause harm to the environment. It said by turning shrimp heads into powder, food processing manufacturers will not only cut down their wastage but also earn profit from otherwise discarded materials. State-owned Development Bank of the Philippines has forged a partnership with the Filipino Inventor Society or FIS to support the development of viable local projects and indigenous technologies. DBP President and CEO Emmanuel Herbosa said the bank would provide capacity-building programs in financial and operational management to Filipino inventors and scientists. Herbosa said DBP is crafting a bridging program to assist outstanding inventors through aid or grants that will encourage innovative projects for critical sectors such as agriculture, healthcare, and the environment. The DBP continues to encourage the development of relevant technologies and meaningful solutions in support of the Philippine Development Plan and the country's sustainable development goals. The FIS is a non-government organization of Filipino inventors who hold patents for their works and innovations here and overseas. Up next, the United States sanctions 5 North Koreans over the reclusive regime's latest ballistic missile launches. And some festivals in parts of the country will see a subdued observance due to soaring COVID-19 cases. More stories when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Kung customer ka, pupuntahan mo ba yung mukhang safe naman o yung certified na safe? Ang safety seal ay patunay na certified safe ang iyong business dahil nasusunod ang minimum public health standards. Meron din itong QR code para mapadali ang contact tracing. Ito ay libre lang. Pero, kailangang i-renew every 6 months or every year kung nasa tourism sector ang iyong business. Kung meron ka ng mga documents na ito, pwede ka na mag-apply para sa Safety Seal Certification. May iba-ibang office para sa iba't ibang klase ng mga negosyo. Pag na-determine nyo na ang issuing authority, simple lang ang steps para makuha ang safety seal. Pumunta sa office ng issuing authority o sa kanilang website. Kumuha ng safety seal checklist at magsagawa ng self-assessment para sa iyong business. I-submit ang checklist at abangan ang inspection schedule. Pag na-approve ang application, bibigyan kayo ng safety seal sticker. Pag hindi naman na-approve, sasabihin kung anong health standard ang hindi nasunod at bibigyan kayo ng pagkakataong ayusin ito. Pag nakuha na ang safety seal, ipaskil ito sa may entrance para makita agad ng mga customer. Pwede nyo rin ipagmalaki na certified safe kayo sa inyong mga social media pages. Paalala lamang, ang isang safety seal ay para sa isang branch lang. Siguraduhin bawat branch mo ay certified safe. Siguraduhin din na nasusunod palagi ang minimum public health standards dahil baka mabawi ang iyong certification. Maaring mag-operate kahit na walang safety seal. Pero hindi ba mas mahalagang kampante ang mga customer sa loob ng iyong negosyo? Kaya kumuha na ng safety seal para ingat-angat tayong lahat.
The Philippine Navy and the Army are among the latest agencies to send humanitarian missions to provinces affected by Typhoon Odette. Chris Crisomundo has a story.
Philippine Navy landing craft BRP Iwak has transported urgently needed relief supplies and goods to Typhoon Odette battered Dinagat Islands and Surigao del Norte on Wednesday. The ship transported rolling cargo from Butuan City, the Office of Civil Defense, and other stakeholders, along with 7.1 tons of water for distribution. BRP Iwak is among the 27 ships deployed by the Navy to help in the ongoing relief efforts for Odette-devastated communities. Another ship, the presidential yacht BRP Ang Pangulo, has so far provided medical aid to 842 patients from Siargao and the Dinagat Islands. The Philippine Army meanwhile brought in its own brand of bayanihan as the Cebu-based 53rd Engineer Brigade helped ongoing relief and rehabilitation efforts in Cebu City, Bohol, Negros Occidental, Northern Samar, and Southern Leyte. Meanwhile, the Embassy of Canada in the Philippines announced that 3 non-government organizations will receive about 120 million pesos in funding to help those affected by Typhoon Odette. In a statement, Canadian Ambassador to the Philippines Peter MacArthur said Ottawa expressed concern over the catastrophe and continues to monitor the situation while working together with the Philippine government. He said the Canadian Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines has also asked its members to donate for the relief and recovery efforts led by the private sector. For its part, San Miguel Corporation said food and water donations for provinces hit by Typhoon Odette have reached more than 35 million pesos to date. Included in SMC's overall relief efforts is the donation of about 100 tons of various food products to Southern Leyte, sent through the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the provincial and local governments. San Miguel Brewery also distributed relief goods on top of providing water for the public, particularly in Mandaue City and Talisay City in Cebu. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Crismundo.
President Rodrigo Duterte has signed a law mandating the full rehabilitation and maintenance of Cannon Road, one of the major access roads leading to Benguet. Republic Act No. 11604 orders the rehabilitation and maintenance of the 33.5-kilometer Cannon Road stretching from the municipality of Rosario in La Union to Baguio City. The Department of Public Works and Highways will be tasked to evaluate and assess Cannon Road in coordination with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Cannon Road has been described as among the most dangerous roads in the country due to the landslides that frequently occur along this road. Meanwhile, the President signed the RA 11608, renaming Roosevelt Avenue in Quezon City as Fernando Poe Jr. Avenue. The renaming was made in honor of Poe, regarded as the king of Philippine movies and now a national artist. The original House and Senate bills initially sought to rename Del Monte Avenue, but Catholic groups protested due to its religious significance as the site of the first Christian community in Quezon City. Roosevelt Avenue was renamed instead, as it is where Poe's ancestral home is located. In news overseas, the U.S. has sanctioned 5 North Koreans allegedly involved in Pyongyang's weapons of mass destruction and ballistic missile programs. The North Korean nationals blacklisted by the U.S. include Russia-based Cho Myong-hyun, who is allegedly to have aided Pyongyang's Second Academy of Natural Sciences, or SANS. The institution was sanctioned in 2010 and 2013 for supporting the North's proliferation activities and development programs. The economic blacklistings comes after North Korea announced on Wednesday that it had successfully conducted the final test firing of its newly developed hypersonic missile. The North has carried out roughly 6 ballistic missile launches since September in violation of UN Security Council resolution prohibiting it from testing the technology. Spectators of the Dinagyang Festival are invited to join the Dagyang sa social media contest on TikTok. Organizers of the Dinagyang Festival have tapped the virtual platform so more people can enjoy the festival amid restrictions brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Interested TikTokers may show off their merry-making moves or dagyang in a short video. They may choose to join the Padayon category, where the performers will dance a specific routine using the official music of the festival, or the freestyle, where they can perform their own dance steps still using the official music. Those interested to join are encouraged to submit early and no longer wait for the January 17 deadline so they can gain more followers to win the most viral prize. Cash prizes plus the Jury's Choice Award awaits the winners. Baguio City celebrating its famous Panagbenga Festival again this year, but in a more subdued manner as the country continues to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic. Mayor Benjamin Magalo on Thursday said the city will not hold its usual crowd-drawing street dancing and float parades due to the threat of the Omicron variant. At the onset of the pandemic in 2020, the city government held a traditional ritual during the festival opening day on February 1, but canceled the usual opening parade that follows it. The festival starts in February and closes on the second week of March. Back in Manila, the city government has prohibited all physical activities related to the upcoming celebration of the Santo Niño Fiesta in Tondo and Pandacan. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno said the same prohibitions during the Feast of the Black Nazarene in Quiapo will also be applied this Sunday, January 16. All physical masses at the Archdiocesan Shrine of Santo Niño de Tondo and at the Santo Niño Parish in Pandacan are also suspended. He advised devotees to just attend online masses of these churches. A liquor ban will also be imposed during the religious event. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The IATF releases the latest alert level classifications. Metro Manila and its 4 neighboring provinces will stay under alert level 3 until the end of January. Not backing down on restrictions, local governments tightened the noose on unvaccinated persons with their respective ordinances amid the continued surge in infections. A sigh of relief for learners, teachers, and school personnel. Some local government units enforce a health break to ease their burden. And no gatherings, no problem. Candidates for national posts can have their e-rallies streamed online in a page to be provided by the Commission on Elections. As Filipinos, we all have a vital role to play in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So remember, wear face masks and face shields. Wash your hands often. Practice safe physical distancing. Go out only for essential reasons. And get vaccinated as soon as possible to protect ourselves, our families, and the community. Together, we can beat COVID-19. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, check our webpage or log on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. We tell stories that inspire change. I'm Marita Muajes. Stay safe and have a good day.